Today, we're diving deep into one of the most powerful cards in the tarot deck, the Eight of Swords. We're going to talk all about its message of a self-made prison and, more importantly, how to unlock it. I mean, you know that feeling, right? Where you feel like you were just completely stuck. Your hands are tied, every single door seems to be shut, and there's just no way out. We've all been there. It's a totally universal human experience. Well, what if I told you there's a tarot card that absolutely nails this feeling? One card that perfectly captures what it's like to feel trapped. And the best part is, it doesn't just show you the problem, it shows you the way out. Okay, let's get right into it. The card we're talking about is, of course, the Eight of Swords. You can think of it as the ultimate card for that intense, psychological experience of feeling trapped. So when this card pops up upright in a reading, it's a huge signpost. It's pointing to a state of paralysis, a feeling of being restricted, victimized, and just absolutely powerless. It really feels like outside forces have you completely cornered. But what does that actually look like in our day-to-day lives? Let's break down how this feeling can build these very real-feeling prisons in different areas of our lives. It tends to show up in some really common and kind of tough ways. Think about your career, for instance. The Eight of Swords is that feeling of being totally stuck in a job you can't stand. You know, that whole golden handcuffs scenario. Or maybe you just genuinely believe there are no other options out there. You feel so helpless to change things that you just stay. And in relationships, it can be just as stark. This card can represent feeling confined, maybe even victimized, in a situation that's unhappy or negative. The dominant feeling is that leaving is impossible. You're in a state of crisis, and you just can't see an escape route anywhere. And of course, with money. It's that deep, gnawing anxiety that makes you feel trapped by your financial situation. You feel so restricted, so unable to see a creative path forward, that it just feeds this whole cycle of helplessness. And you see, right, all these situations are built on the exact same things. We're talking about hopelessness, victimization, intense psychological pressure, feeling silenced. It all leads to this state of what you might call learned helplessness. It's a prison we build with our own negative thoughts. But, and this is a big but, this is where the entire story flips on its head. Okay, get ready, because this next part is the most crucial piece of the puzzle. This is the surprising truth, the secret, hidden inside the Eight of Swords. Let me just ask you this. What if those prison walls aren't actually real? What if all those swords you think are trapping you aren't actually a cage? What if the whole thing is just an illusion? And this is it. This is the big aha moment of the Eight of Swords. The shocking truth is that you are the one keeping yourself in this situation. It's your blindfold. Those swords are not a cage. You can literally take the blindfold off and just walk away anytime you want. So the trap isn't external, it's internal. It's built from your perception, your negative thoughts, your fears, your belief that you are powerless. The second you change how you see the situation, poof, the walls just disappear. So that sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you walk away? Well, that's where we look at the card when it's reversed. It's basically our roadmap to freedom. When you flip this card upside down, its meaning does a complete 180. Suddenly, it's a card of escape, freedom, and release. It's all about you taking your power back, seeing the solutions that were there all along, and finally letting go of the anxiety that was holding you captive. I mean, just look at this shift. It is a total transformation. You go from being the victim to being the survivor, from powerless to empowered. That crippling fear gets replaced by a solid sense of self-belief. And helplessness, gone. You are taking control. It's an absolutely massive, game-changing shift in perspective. So what does this look like in practice? Well, your path to liberation has a few steps. First, you have to face the truth. You've got to acknowledge the role you've been playing in keeping yourself stuck. Second, you consciously release that paralyzing anxiety and fear. And third, you take back your control. You realize that you have the power to change your own reality. All right, so let's wrap all of this up with the ultimate takeaway. If you remember only one thing about the Eight of Swords, let it be this. Your mindset literally creates your reality. That is the core lesson here. The bars on that prison cell, they're forged from your own thoughts and your own fears. And the amazing part is, the power to be free isn't something you have to go out and find. It has been inside you this entire time. And so I'll leave you with this final question to really think about. What blindfold are you wearing? What story have you been telling yourself that's keeping you trapped? What blindfold are you finally ready to remove?